You guys hear that sound? It's the sound of a 2003 Powerstroke. Everybody knows what that sound is, but where does it come from? A lot of guys want to try to add it to their trucks or make their trucks sound just like an 03 turbo. Well, I want to go over some of the misconceptions first, and then I'll show you how and where the sound comes from. A lot of people think that the silencer ring on the turbo is where the sound comes from. So they'll actually take the turbo and machine the silencer ring out of the compressor cover. That's not where the sound comes from. That will make the sound change. That makes more of like an intake sucking sound difference. It does not make the turbo whistle more, that famous 03 turbo whistle. Other people think it comes from the billet wheel, the compressor wheel. So you can take out your stock compressor wheel and upgrade it to a billet wheel. There's lots of different brands. Some are 6x6, 7x7, 11 blade single plane. But this is also not where that famous 2003 turbo whistle comes from. This does sometimes change the sucking sound of the turbo. It makes a little more whooshing noise. But it doesn't get that loud, ear-piercing whistle that you're looking for. That sound comes from the turbine side of the turbo. In 2003, when they came out with the 6.0 Powerstroke, it had a 10-bladed turbine wheel, which whistled extremely loud. So an 04 Ford switched to a 13-bladed turbine wheel. It is a little smaller, and it made a lot less noise. And then in 05, they switched to an even smaller 13-bladed turbine wheel. So how do you get that 03 turbo sound? You need to have the 03 turbine wheel in there. It's a 10-bladed wheel, and the way the vanes blow across the blades makes that whistle sound. So up until recently, you had to buy an 03 turbo or a Power Max or someone's modified turbo for you to be able to get that whistle. But KC Turbos came out with what we call our drop-in 10-blade turbine wheel. We take an 03 turbine wheel and we cut it to fit the 04 to 07 turbine housings. One of the most common questions we get asked is if there's any machine work required to install this, and the answer is no. We simply need to know what size turbo you have, so we send you the right turbine wheel. We also recommend while you're in there to put it in a rebuild kit or to use this on a freshly rebuilt turbo. And we always recommend using someone that has a lot of experience in rebuilding turbos. And the answer is yes. They do flow more, they do make more power. On a stock injector application, you're not really going to notice anything, and or if you keep your stock size compressor wheel, you don't really notice very much. But when you start upgrading the compressor wheel, putting on bigger tunes, putting on bigger injectors, you will get more flow out of the 03 10-blade turbine wheel style.